Hello, and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today, I'm going to read a passage that I know I've read in the past, but I'm going to read it and talk about something else that this passage often brings up in conversation. And that would be Genesis chapter 7, verses 11 and 12. I'm going to start with the English Standard Version. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day all of the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were opened, and rain fell upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. All right. Now, New Century Version. When Noah was 600 years old, the flood started. On the 17th day of the second month of that year, the underground springs split open, and clouds in the sky poured out rain. The rain fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, so two quick things I want to point out with this passage. Again, and both of these come up in conversation quite a bit. One of them is people claim that the flood was just a localized flood. Well, if you read further into this passage, it rained nonstop for 40 days and 40 nights, and it rained so much that it covered the highest peaks of the earth. So that doesn't sound like a localized flood to me. The other thing, and this one has always kind of fascinated me, things like the Grand Canyon or Copper Canyon or Black Canyon or whatever canyon you can think of. These are just canyons that I'm familiar with in Mexico and here in the U.S. How did they get formed? There's some people, and I've always kind of laughed at this one, not because I thought it was funny, but because it made sense. Some people have said that God might have taken his fingernail and just carved a little line in the sand. To God, that would be a little line in the sand, but to us, these are huge gaping holes in the earth. But if you read the first part of the flood starting, it doesn't start with rains coming from heaven. It starts with the underground springs opening up and flooding from the bottom up. So what happens if you've ever done a science experiment with water? What happens when water rushes through dirt, gravel, sand really fast? It moves it. It forms a canyon. So canyons like this is proof of creation here. And things like canyons can be formed very rapidly. In the case of this flood, 40 days. The waters literally carved these canyons during the flood. So that's proof of creation there. It's one of the amazing wonders of God. Now, even though the flood did cause these canyons, I still like to think that with that water rushing out, there was still God's fingernail going along behind and carving out that sand even more so to give it more detail. But anyway, when you look out at creation, whether it's the tops of mountains, the bottoms of canyons, or for those that like to explore the depths of the ocean, there's plenty of explorations going on in the Marianas Trench. And I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but plenty of exploration going on down there. It's easy to see God's hand at work in all of it. So don't lose sight of God when you see something as simple as a snowflake, or something as complex as a starfish that can regrow one of its limbs when it breaks off. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.